Okay, so we will start and we will continue where we had left. Yes. So, just a minute before that, I just wish to, yes, all visible. My, okay, so I'm coming to the sound of C and the sound of G. Okay, so we are doing the sound of G and the sound of C. So always remember, whenever you are reading a word, and if it has a C or it has a G, if there is E, I, Y after C, the sound will be S. That is a rule. So we can see all these words here which have E, C, E. Rice, ice, mice, nice, trace, praise, grace, sell, center, seize, peace, niece, juice, icicle, city, spicy, cyclone. So if EIY is C is followed by EIY, then we will always have the pronunciation of C as S. And if you have A, O, U, then C is pronounced as K. So it becomes cat, cot, cut. Similar is with G. So digital, magic, fugitive, clergy, clingy, rigid, energy, allergy, apology, original, EIY. Sound will be J, and otherwise it will be G. A-O-U, the sound will be G. So that is the difference. So we can see here goat, game, gobble, goal, cap, glue, glass, good, go, gas, come. And here, just gentle, Jim, giant, genius, germ, gem, general, engine, nudge, wage. So always have this clarity. Where is it going to be sa sound and where is it going to be ja sound? That is why it is gestures, Gestures. It is not gestures because GE follows G. So the sound becomes J. Sometimes there are, of course, exceptions, but largely we can see that this rule works. Similarly, in the middle of the words also, if you have these letters like accident, accomplish, account, accuse, so C आ रहा है, but O, A, U आएगा, the sound will become K. An accident, CI, sound will be sa. Then, of course, when it is ending. So all these, I mean, little things, if we just become aware of, it becomes so much more interesting. The language becomes much more interesting. So now I'm going to be doing an exercise with everyone. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You can see my screen. So we will just see, yes, we will just see whatever we just practiced. And you have to just tell me where the spelling is, which spelling is correct. Now, why am I sharing this? Because as educators, we have this huge responsibility to train our students. And so many times, I don't know how it happens, but then you see that something has become very, very prevalent, very, very normal, and children don't even know that they are making a mistake. So the spelling of writing, WRITTING, when many people are writing as WRITTING. And one more thing I noticed, and especially, I mean, in our region, because we say September and November, December, September, November, December. So October does not have an EM, but it has become September, October, November, December. So we don't know from where do such things originate, but I'm sure somebody must have heard it somewhere in school or somewhere. So now these people so confidently they say October, that when I say October, they are like, ma'am, you don't know what you're talking. So it has become so deep rooted. And similarly, writing spelling, WRITTING, has become so common that you tell them that it's with a single T, they will look at you as if you are making a mistake. So these are very, very simple things, very, very basic things. But we are going so wrong in these basics that the generation which is coming up is completely confused. They do not know. And it'll just keep on going from back to words. So somewhere we have to take the reins and correct things and tell them why things have to be in a certain manner. They cannot be in any other way, because that's the right way. And we cannot let them, learn things which are not correct. So because we are educators, we have this huge responsibility to first become very confident. And why is it like this? Why not like this? So again, there are certain rules. Like I said, when there is a single syllable word like hop, like sit, like run, so if it's consonant, vowel, consonant sound, short syllable word, if you're using ing, the last letter will be doubled. So sit will become sitting, hop will become hopping, run will become running. So that's the rule. But if you talk about write, then write ends with write. The word write ends with an E, which is a vowel sound. So you cannot double the last letter. No way. So we, whenever like we have, I always take it like that, that we have this huge responsibility to know why things are the way they are. Okay, so now we are going to be doing this worksheet on spelling, which is very, very interesting and very easy and very simple. Yes. And you will see the logic that we did just now. So, see the first one. Which is correct?
Middle one.
Second one.
The second one is correct. And you can see CE, necessary. Now, again, there is, we get confused with pronunciation also many times. Now, accommodation. Now, with the double rule that I was talking about, accommodation.
Third one.
So, third
Third one.
one is correct. The letter is getting doubled, what we just did. Business.
The first one.
No, not the first one, the third.
Third one.
First one,
Sorry, third one. You are saying
Which
this. Yeah.
use pens, papers, envelopes, etc.
Stationery.
First one.
Stationery. Second one. Second one.
Second one.
What is the difference between the first and the second one?
First
Second
one.
one.
second one.
First one.
Say it out wise.
Second one.
What is the difference
One.
between ERY and ARY?
Stationery.
Ma'am, first one that is stands for all stationary things, and second one is for the thing which is in a sitting condition, in rest position.
Yes. Station, like we have this Nagpur station, we have all these railway stations where the train station, like stand, come to a standstill. So somebody is stationed somewhere. So station is like still, station. So that is stationary. Something which is not moving is stationary. And stationary, ERY, is the right word for pen pencil. That's the. Somebody's mic is on. Could you please mute yourself? Okay. Next, we go to this. Which one is correct?
Second one.
Second one.
Yes. And the sixth one?
Receive. REC.
Second one. Second one.
Third,
Last one.
definite.
Second.
Third one is correct. Definite. Definite. Definite is definition and definite. बट
REC.
बहुत जगह आपने बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को देखा होगा यूजिंग द सेकंड डेफिनेट सेकंड स्पेलिंग बिकॉज डेफिनेटली बोलते हैं तो वो नेटली में NAT कर देते हैं विच इज रॉन्ग द थर्ड स्पेलिंग इज द करेक्ट स्पेलिंग ओके सेवेंथ में
Second. Final.
yes yes now the eighth one
First one. First one.
why not second?
Madam, I want to say something that this particular
हाँ.
computer make us so lazy and we can say हमें बहुत उन्होंने ये कर दिया है because auto correction is there है ना so definitely and definitely for an example तो वहां पे वो हमने अगर definitely लिख दिया है so वो auto correction से वो definitely कर देते हैं so that's why आपको आपके spelling correct है या wrong है वो पता ही नहीं चलता है this is the important thing और हमारा जनरेशन वाला ये जो कंप्यूटर और मोबाइल वाला है इसमें बहुत ये चीजें होती है मैम
Yes, very, very correct. But it is a very sad scenario. जैसे calculator आया, तो children now cannot calculate. They do not know their tables. They cannot do mental mathematics. They cannot do mental arithmetic. बिल्कुल नहीं आप उनसे ऐड करने के लिए बोलो. They have to look for the calculator because they cannot do simple addition, subtraction, simple calculations. They are so dependent on machines. And now with writing also the same thing has happened. Now a computer can do autocorrect. But computer cannot check if your one sentence is connected to the other sentence. That computer cannot do. There are so many things and computer cannot distinguish between homophones also. So agar aapne likha I see the sea or suppose if you say I see the picture. अब आपने लिख दिया SEA तो कंप्यूटर को ये नहीं पता है which sea are you talking about. It will mark it correct. So there are so many words which sound the same. Homophones. Phones का ही मतलब like you just shared that we are using mobile phones. What is the meaning of phones? Can anybody tell me quickly? What is the meaning of phone?
PHONE.
PHONE. Phone का मतलब है. What is the meaning?
I think phone is sound.
Sound. So mobile phone से आपका sound which can be carried from one place to another, like how we used to have telephones earlier. So now we have mobile phones. Telephones were wired phones which could not be carried. Then we had wireless phones and now we have mobile phones. So अगर आपकी writing में आप homophones यूज कर रहे हो, जैसे principal and principal. Please mute. Please, somebody's mic is on. Would you please mute? So principal and principal. Now writing the spelling of the principal. The first principal, P-A-L, pal. So principal is like the pal, friend to the students. So that is the principal, the main. And the other principal, PLE, is the rule. तो अगर आपने लिखने में प्रिंसिपल लिख दिया दूसरा वाला तो कंप्यूटर थोड़ी करेक्ट करेगा. कंप्यूटर कैनॉट मेक आउट. So these are the things which we should be very, very careful about, because computer cannot check all these things. Computer does not know the difference. As long as the word is spelled correctly, वो sentence में correct use हो रहा है नहीं use हो रहा है, उससे कोई उनको लेना देना नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत कभी कभी करेक्ट सेंटेंस को भी फ्रैक्शन बता देंगे,
Ma'am,
कभी
sorry to disturb you, ma'am. There is Grammarly which corrects all these things also.
yes it does, but when connecting of ideas,
Yeah, connecting of
so
ideas,
one,
but grammatical mistakes and sentence construction mistakes, they, if I like C, you have given that example C, they can detect that error. That kind of
yes.
error, that kind of error it can detect.
So if you are using a special app, now after some time we may not even have to write. You have to just dictate and the computer
It is
will do
already there,
everything
ma'am.
for
It
you.
is already there, ma'am.
It is
What can we
already
do?
the text to speech is there,
Yes,
speach
ma'am.
to text is there, everything is there. But what's happening to the human intelligence then? If computer is doing everything, then what are we learning? And what are we teaching? What are we, how
I
are
am lucky
we
that
growing?
when computer came, I have completed my studies almost.
Uh-huh.
So I am lucky in that way. So my basic studies were over by the time first time I saw a computer in my post graduation. I saw first computer. So by that time, my all education was over almost. So I have learned calculating. I have learned English spelling. So that way I'm lucky. But this time students do not learn these things. They write so wrong English every time. I do not say that I
That
write
is
good
why
English.
to tell them we should know.
Yes, ma'am.
So to tell them, because we are educating a generation, all these children 19, 20, 24, 25 years, they are going to be making a generation. Somebody's mic is on. Could you please unmute? Sorry, could you please mute yourself? Somebody's mic is on. लक्ष्मण जी आपका माइक ऑन है शायद, आप प्लीज
लक्ष्मण
म्यूट
सर,
कर लीजिए.
म्यूट करिए.
लक्ष्मण सर प्लीज म्यूट कीजिए, आपका माइक इज ऑन. Okay, so now from Indian words we are going to be using, now we are coming to foreign words that we use in our writings. Lakshman sir.
सर मैडम मैंने उनको निकाल दिया. आप प्लीज कंटिन्यू
हाँ?
करिए.
ओके. सो नाउ जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे एक वर्ड देखा हमने, रिसीव, and we are very confident that CEI is the correct spelling. Again, there is a rule. It is CEI, but if C is not there, then it is always IE. That is a rule again. So yes, we have done this. Yes. I before E except after C. So thief, IE, beige, IEI, 8, Neighbor, if the sound is A, then it will be EI. But if the sound is E, then it is IE. And believe is IE. And if there is C, then it becomes again EI. So, because these are confusing words, spellings turn out to be confusing, so it is important to know. So now we come to word division. What I just shared with you in the beginning also, hyphen is used to divide a word. One syllable words cannot be divided. Proper nouns are not divided, and words will always be divided between prefix or suffix. So please remember this. There are going to be questions on word division, so you should be clear with the rules. So a syllable, like we already know, it is a unit of pronunciation. It is one vowel sound, and like basket and 3 in computer. So we are going to be learning about syllables now. But before that, yes, let's do this, and then I'm going to come back to your syllables. Can you tell me some foreign words which we use not even knowing that they are foreign words? We are using them in our language, in our college, in our day-to-day working, but we do not know they are foreign words. Bona fide. Bona fide is a foreign word. Modus operandi, again a foreign word. Status quo, again a foreign word. So certain foreign words have become a part of our vocabulary, and we really feel so connected to these words that we don't even realize they are not a part of that particular language. So similarly, we are going to be learning some foreign words which are very, very common, but again very important to learn, because you may end up using them somewhere or the other, and they are important part of the syllabus also. So the first thing, suppose if somebody's feeling giddy in the morning, sick in the morning, then what do you say? What is the word for that? I'm not feeling well, I'm feeling a little giddy, I'm feeling a little sick. What word do we say? I'm feeling
Nauseous.
nauseous. So the first word that we are going to talk about is ad nauseum, which means to a sickening degree. So somebody talks endlessly about something, it makes you completely, you don't want to listen to that person for that long. So talk ad nauseum about the time he scored the winning run. So that's to a sickening degree. He made me sick with how much he spoke about himself. What is this word? Again, this has become such a common word. We always use it. Bon voyage. So have a nice trip. Please remember all these words, because you are going to get questions on these words. So the first word was ad nauseum. The second word is bon voyage and bona fide. Bona fide, of course, means genuine. So that is why we need the bona fide certificate. So the actual meaning is genuine. Carte blanche, that is unlimited authority. And caveat emptor. Many commerce professors, or in your academics also, you could be using this word, business, or in so many areas you must have heard of it. So carte blanche is somebody who has unlimited authority, and caveat emptor is where you let the buyer beware. So important words again. We did in the beginning ad nauseum, bon voyage, bona fide, carte blanche, and caveat emptor. We have done 5 words till now. Will we remember these 5 words? 5 words we have done till now. Ad nauseum, that's to a sickening degree. Bon voyage, which is have a nice trip. Bona fide, genuine. Caveat emptor, let the buyer be aware. And carte blanche is unlimited authority. So these 5 words, now we are going to be learning more foreign words. Why are foreign words important? Because suppose like there is a word called FUXPAS. Can anybody tell me what does it mean? Sometimes these social blunder, absolutely. But how do we pronounce this word?
Fox pass.
Huh?
Fox
It is faux pas. Its X is silent. So suppose you are very embarrassed because of the mistake that you committed somewhere, and you don't want to explain too much, but you just say one word faux pas and everything is understood. You made a social blunder, and I made a complete faux pas, and I just didn't know how to get out of that situation. So that is in front of the others if you've made a mistake. Now there's a difference between mistake and blunder also. Mistake is of a smaller intensity and blunder is of course much, much larger proportions. So, yes. So we do this. Mass, of course, we know mass is a large group. So, and mass is meaning in a large group. Then fait accompli is established fact. Faux pas, social blunder. Ipso facto, by the fact itself. Then modus operandi, which is the method of operating. Persona non grata. Now, again, see the meaning behind persona is a person. Non is something which is not, not okay. So person not acceptable. An unacceptable person is persona non grata. Prima donna is a temperamental and conceited person. So somebody who is not popular with others because of that high-handed attitude. Pro bono is charity. So many times they did activities for pro bono. Quid pro quo is something for something, and status quo is the existing condition. So very, very important to know all the words. Shall I ask you the meaning? Do you remember some of the words? Pro bono. I'll just revise them once again, and then, yes, please remember these words because they'll be asked in your exam. So ad nauseam, bon voyage, bona fide, carte blanche, caveat emptor, en masse, fait accompli, faux pas is, we know it's social blunder, ipso facto, by the fact itself. I just want to know one thing. Are there teachers who are doing English, teaching English? English teachers are there in this group? Because in the previous groups, we did have teachers who were teaching English. In this group also, do we have teachers who are teaching English? Yes, somebody was saying something. Hello.
Ganesh Bele sir, Your subject is English. Ganesh Bele. He is not responding, madam. His subject is English.
Okay. So the one I think
Just I am
professor is
checking.
there who's
Yes. I am just
huh?
looking at the Fuljale. Mahindra Kumar Fuljale.
Okay. So maybe they don't wish to respond. Okay.
Maybe.
So
Yes, ma'am. 2 participants.
two participants are there. So I think even greater responsibility with those who are teaching the language. And how many others, Preeti ma'am, if you could tell me how many are doing research in language, like English is one, Marathi,
Madam,
Hindi
Marathi
maybe.
participants are also there.
हाँ तो मराठी में जो कर रहे हैं उनको जो मैंने अभी तक समझाया वो मुश्किल क्या आपके लिए
3
क्लियर था जो
participants हैं
हमने
madam
अभी
मराठी के. 3
हाँ
participants. 3
तीन
participants.
पार्टिसिपेंट्स है
Yes,
मराठी
ma'am.
के ओके एंड एनीबडी फॉर हिंदी
No, ma'am.
ओके ओके थैंक यू सो मच सो मैंने जो अभी आपके साथ डिस्कस किया वो वट एवर वी डिड आई थिंक एवरीथिंग वाज क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन अगर आप मराठी में पीएचडी कर रहे हैं तो क्या आपके लिए ये सब क्लियर था जो हमने अभी तक किया
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
आपके लिए क्लियर था ना ओके थैंक यू सो मच फॉर रिस्पॉन्डिंग तो जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये जो हमारे फॉरेन वर्ड्स हैं ये हमारी लैंग्वेज को और भी इंटरेस्टिंग बना देते हैं और पावरफुल बना देते हैं बिकॉज लाइक बोनाफाइड के लिए we cannot think of any other word bona fide certificate has I think it does the work status quo के लिए कोई और वर्ड है ही नहीं फोपा modus operandi so all these words have become such an integral part of our working culture that we cannot imagine our system without them तो इन्हीं में थोड़े से और वर्ड्स हैं जो कि हमें थोड़े से याद कर लेने चाहिए जैसे कैवियर टेम्पटर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड कार्ट ब्लांच इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड प्रो बोनो आप बहुत जगह इस वर्ड को भी प्रो बोनो को भी देखेंगे इट इज बीइंग यूज्ड क्विड प्रो को इज बीइंग यूज्ड इप्सो फैक्टो प्राइमा डोना ऑल दीज वर्ड्स आपको आप देखेंगे कि अगेन एंड अगेन दे आर यूज्ड सो प्लीज बी वेरी वेरी अवेयर and very conscious of the usage of these words मैं तो आपसे खाली एक I just want to ask one word चलिए because all are educators so my question to you is why do we need to master any language जैसे हम इंग्लिश कर रहे हैं अभी इंग्लिश हो या हिंदी हो या मराठी हो या कोई भी लैंग्वेज हो इंग्लिश बिकॉज इट हैज बिकम द ग्लोबल लैंग्वेज दैट इज व्हाई इट्स द नीड ऑफ द आवर what why should we master any language we may be the if I'm a professor of electronics or if I'm a professor of business accounts or whatever so मेरे लिए क्या जरूरत है कि मैं इंग्लिश पढूं ऐसे हमारे को क्वेश्चन आता होगा I teach accounts I teach mathematics I teach something else why should I learn English ऐसा अक्सर लगता होगा effective communication yes so shall I tell you how does language help us मैं अभी आपको थोड़ा सा बताना चाहती हूँ कि language को proficiency आने से हमारे और बाकी जगह पे क्या क्या फायदे होते हैं सबसे पहला फायदा ये होता है कि if you wish to explain something if you are teaching accounts in the class or if you are teaching maybe finance in the class or if you are teaching any subject like mechanical का कोई subject आप पढ़ा रहे हैं class में तो to explain anything or to express anything you have to have an idea or that thought has to have some kind of existence, whether tangible or intangible. But that idea can only be expressed when you have the right words for it. And when you connect the other ideas to the main idea, that becomes your thought process. So what do you do when you are explaining in the class? You are actually putting your thought process on display for everyone to see how the process is working in your head, because the words have brought you out. So the more powerful words you have in your vocabulary, the more powerful expression you have in your kitty, the more impressive your personality will turn out to be. And there is a famous quote. So no matter how impressive the person is to look at, but the moment somebody opens one's mouth, we get to know what the complete personality of that person is. So Socrates said, somebody brought, a very wealthy man brought his son to Socrates. And he told him, "Sir, please look at my son and tell me what can I do with him? Or what is he going to be doing best? Or how can he become successful? Or whatever, whatever." So Socrates said, looked at the boy and he said, "Speak so that I may see you." So your outer appearance, even though one may look at your outer appearance, one only sees you when you speak. Your words are your gateway to your personality. So the more powerful, and teachers have this very major responsibility of inspiring, encouraging, and motivating students. And how do we get motivated? When we listen to somebody who is a very eloquent speaker. So children, maybe students will be looking up to us if we show that power in our personality. And that power in our personality is only visible through the power that I have in my language. So when we talk about communication skills, I do take up a lot of sessions on communication skills, non-verbal language, and the nitty-gritties. But over a period of time, I've come to realize that if language is not powerful, your other measures are not going to make you an effective communicator. Because you may have the perfect body language, you may have the perfect stance, you may have the perfect grooming, you may have the perfect attire. But what about the language that you are speaking? So that is why your language becomes, without that language, your communication can never have the kind of effect you wish it to exude. So language becomes very powerful there for all educators. The second point is, I may have $1 million idea in my head, but if I'm not getting the words to express those ideas, what is that $1 million idea going to do here? I have to express it. But if I'm not getting the right words, the right language, the right method to convey it, I'll not be taken seriously. But if I can do it in the best possible manner, people look at me with more confidence. They take my words to be powerful. They attach meaning to what is being processed, what is being expressed, what is being communicated. And I start being taken seriously. So that is very, very important. That is the second advantage of having a powerful language for all educators. And the third, the most important is, yes, can anybody share the third point? The third important point is educators do have to do a lot of reading. Lot of reading. And so many times we do not read because we are not comfortable with the language. So, because we are not comfortable with the language, the best thing to do is not to read. So, if we become proficient in the language, we start reading much more. And in a shorter span, and the more I read, the more knowledge I gain, and the more understanding and depth I will have on my subject. So these three very important points are there. The first, words are gateway to your personality. So learn proficiency in language. The second is words define our thought process. People take us seriously when my words have the kind of power that I wish to convey. And the third is words help us read faster. Words, language proficiency will help me assimilate the information faster. So there are many other areas also, but basically I think as educators, we should always be thinking of honing our skills in language. I've seen so many people saying that, and we know, all of us adults, working professionals know that you reach a certain position because of your proficiency in language and communication. A test was given, and it was, I mean, researchers carried out this test in United States, and they discovered that people at the top definitely had a better hold over the language. So we want our children to succeed, and we want our careers to bloom. So why not avail this opportunity which is coming to us and really hone our language skills? So adding these foreign words to your quitty is going to make you sound like a more impressive personality. So why not use them? They're going to be a part of your, they are a part of your syllabus. They're going to be a part of your question paper. They're going to be a part of your writing skills. So why not really imbibe them and really understand and put them into practice? आप बाकी चीजों को उतना practice नहीं कर सकते हो जितना आप English की practice कर सकते हो. So that is why this session is very important, and really it has a lot more significance attached to it. So these were our foreign words. Now just one more thing I wanted to do. Yes, word division, syllables. We are going to be doing this exercise, which we have not done. I've just been talking and talking and talking, and I've not done this syllables exercise. So let's do this. Are you all there? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is, you can see the example, how to divide the words on syllables. So the B is already done for you, teacher. So T is one syllable, ch is the other syllable. So now we come to the exercise. So in the first one, what would you say is the right way to divide?
C.
C, little. C or D?
D.
D will be the correct one.
Yes,
Little.
D, little. Okay, the D. Next,
A. Pupil.
which one?
A.
A is the right. You cannot divide, you can only divide from syllables. So people, A is correct. The money, third one.
Money.
Or fourth one.
Money.
Fourth one, money. D. Under.
A.
A, yes. Against.
A.
A. Next,
Oh,
sixth one.
A.
A. Yes. Brother?
Second.
So you see, there are so many different options given for word division, but only one option is correct where the syllables are divided. Yes. Next.
C.
C.
C or B?
B.
It's a C, science.
C, C, C.
Say people, say science, science
C,
is correct until
D.
D,
Until D.
D.
D,
D is
D, D,
correct. Enough.
B.
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 Huh?
B.
B.
It's
B.
B.
B is correct.
B.
B is correct. Okay. So this is about word division. Make sure a hyphen आपका एक topic है. So I'm just giving you the information on hyphen. Please somebody mute your mic. There's too much of disturbance. So a hyphen joins two or more words. This is the sign of hyphen: run down, up to date, cooperate, anti-nuclear. It is also used when numbers form part of a sentence. So where all do we use a hyphen? So Charles Dickens was a great 19th century novelist. Because there is a word and there is a number, so you use a hyphen to separate. And when you are using hyphen in numbers, you can use it with compound numbers from 21 to 99. In written fractions, place a hyphen between the numerator and denominator. And if you have a number and a word, then also you will use a hyphen. So this is how we are using a hyphen. Hyphenated words we talk about so many times. Do not divide a word so that a single letter or the letters stand alone. So जैसे Dan, a tennis champion, serves more aces. A idhar hai, CES idhar hai. It is completely wrong. Then avoid dividing proper nouns and proper adjectives. So proper nouns, so you can never divide. That is a rule. Proper adjectives. What are proper adjectives? Like India is the proper noun. Indian, I'm an Indian. Indian is a proper adjective. तो आप proper nouns और proper adjectives को नहीं divide कर सकते. अगर already hyphenated word है, then you should only divide it at that hyphen. जैसे solar power. So solar power, powered is already hyphenated, so we can make it solar hyphen powered. We don't have to divide powered again. So that is also a rule. It is not a dash. There is a difference between a dash and a hyphen. So here between the words, we are using the hyphen. Dash ka we will understand where all dashes are used. So when you're dividing the words, we use the hyphen. And one more thing is there. This is root word. So all the words come from certain roots. Can you tell me quickly what are the words from the first root? What word would you come up with? Jaldi say, let's do this.
Aquaguard.
Aquaguard has become a yeah, that's a company. Aquatic animals, aqua only. Yes, absolutely correct. Next one.
bibliography,
Bibliography.
bibliography,
Third one.
Etymology.
Chronology.
Chronology, iconography,
because it shows the time.
Photography,
Fourth one,
audio,
Geography.
geography. So graph means
Geography.
writing, and geo is earth. So geography is writing of earth. Photo,
Sun.
photography again, ma'am.
Mix.
photograph or photosynthesis, photograph. Yes, yes. Audi,
Audio,
audio. Yes. Audience. Yes. Uh,
Circle.
circle,
Cyrus,
circumference. Yes. Jury,
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
jury,
manuscript,
jurisprudence.
manuscript. Yes.
Yes, manuscript.
Is silence.
Silent, pacify, making peace. अगर कोई गुस्से में है तो pacify will come with that word. So that is okay. I am giving you some words here. Can you give me more words?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Can you give me more words? So root word is port, and these are all the depot, export, import, portable, portage, porter, portfolio, report, support, transport. Can you give me more words? One very important word is not here. Huh?
Passport. Ma'am.
Passport and
Opportunity.
opportunity नहीं आएगा. Port मैंने carry. Transport. Transport is already there. Suppose if I'm talking about depot. So depot se can I make another word?
Report.
Huh?
Enter.
Report. Okay. Yes. Support में carry नहीं आएगा. Carry नहीं है. It has yes. Report can be फिर भी like
Re-export.
Yes. But
Re-export.
suppose if I'm talking about the word deport or I'm talking about the word import. So can I make more words with import?
Re-export.
Import say
important,
import say I can make more words. Or transport say can I make more words?
Transportation.
Transformation. Nahi, transportation. Yes, transportation, transported. जैसे import, importer, imported, deporter. So all these words should be there. Whenever I need them, वो ऐसे आने चाहिए फटाक से. Yes, transport is already there. So transport's a transporter, the person who transports. Transportation, the process of transport. So all these, yes, so all these words help us in building our word bank. और building a word bank अगर है तो मेरी language powerful है, मेरी language powerful है तो मेरे में power है, मेरे में power है तो others will take me more seriously. And my ideas, people will listen to what I have to say, and those ideas will be acted upon. So that will give me more power. So with that, we will conclude the session for today. Yes, teleport. Teleport is, of course, very, very important, and maybe it will become the reality in future. Right now, the ideas which just existed in our heads are coming into existence. So I'm sure it will really take place. So more power to each one of you, and thank you so much for being such wonderful and patient listeners and giving your feedback throughout. So deep gratitude to each one of you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session. I hope you all did too. And
Thank you so
tomorrow
much, ma'am.
we are going to be starting with something new, interesting. Yes. So we
very
did letters and words today. Tomorrow we are going to be starting with phrases and clauses, and there is going to be grammar also. So we will learn about that. Thank you so much. And over to you, Preeti ma'am. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for
Ma'am,
your
thank you,
wonderful
ma'am.
session. Very interactive, interesting also. Thank you. So on behalf of all the participants, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Divya Lakhera, madam. मैडम आप कल भी कंटिन्यू करेंगे विद द सेम टाइमिंग एंड इट विल एक्सटेंड अप टू 5 p.m.
Yes,
Ma'am, I have
yes.
one
Thank
question.
Yes, please ask.
yes.
मैम जो डेटा जो पीपीटी वो वेबसाइट पे अपलोडेड है एंड द पीपीटी विच मैम शोज वो थोड़ा डिफरेंट है उसमें ज्यादा एडिशन है तो कैन वी गेट दिस पीपीटी आल्सो फॉर
Yes, yes,
प्रिपरेशन
yes. Let us
ओके
first finish all the sessions of madam. कल भी सेशन है,
ओके
परसों
ओके
भी सेशन है मैडम के, वो पूरे सेशन हो जाने दीजिए, फिर मैडम अपडेटेड वाला
ओके
पीपीटी सेंड करेंगे एंड देन आई विल अपलोड दैट.
ओके ओके मैम थैंक यू
ओके जी.
Divya madam, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Ma'am, you at the beginning you told that when we write, there should be that thing should be so clear that nobody have some doubts about that, so no confusion about what I have written. But what I feel that okay, I should not have doubts in that. But until and unless doubts come in the reader's mind, other new things cannot be thought of. That is my feeling. If I do not question, if I do not have doubts what he has written is correct, if I agree that, then I won't have any question in my mind. So I should like when I read something, I should be thinking what he has written is correct or not, or whether I can improve upon this thing. This kind of things should be there along with this is my feeling.
Yes, absolutely correct. But when I'm explaining an idea, my idea should flow effortlessly so that my complete thought process is conveyed to you the way I wish it to be projected. And if there are doubts related with certain technical formalities, whether this is true or whether that is true, or whether this way it can be worked out, whether that way can be worked out, these doubts can be debated upon. So I think what the point that you have brought out is very, very significant and relevant. But there should be no doubt in the way I am communicating. Like if I'm saying something 2 plus 2 is 4, it should come out as 2 plus 2 is 4. It should not be like 2 plus 2 is 5 or 7 or 3 or 9. And the way I'm communicating, it's projecting as if I'm not sure what I'm wishing to convey. So once that idea is communicated and it is in a lucid manner, then of course any point can be debated upon. So that's a very, very good point that you brought out, sir. We have tomorrow also, so we can have more discussion on this also tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we will be doing an example of this tomorrow also, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I will leave the meeting now. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
बाय मैम. फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशंस अपने यहीं पे खत्म होते हैं. कल अपन मिलेंगे 10:15 बजे विथ कंटिन्यूएशन विथ निखिल अटायर सर्स लेक्चर एंड देन दिव्या लखेरा मैडम्स लेक्चर. टुमारो वी विल बी हैविंग द सेशन टिल 5 p.m. आज ही अपना फर्स्ट डे था, इसलिए अपन ने 4 बजे तक रखा था. कल से अपने सेशंस 5 बजे तक रहेंगे. If anybody has any doubt or difficulty, you can ask, or otherwise we will end the session.
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. But my